Hi everyone, my name is Sydney and today I'm going to be discussing Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. This was the first Murakami book I have ever read, and I have to be honest, I didn't really like it. I don't know, as soon as I finished I was like, this was kind of fucked up. What did I just read? I personally think there was way too much glorification of suicide within this book. I didn't agree with a lot of themes, and I thought that the plot could have been so much better, that the characters could have been developed in a way that was stronger. I don't know, I just found every time that I went to pick up this book, it made me feel very depressed. It made me turn inward and feel very introverted. I personally didn't like it, but that being said, I definitely want to pick up another book by Murakami because I really love his writing style. When I started reading this book, I found it really beautiful. I was hooked the minute I started because he's very descriptive, has this simplistic energy about it that is very engaging. But it gets to a point, if the plot is quite stagnant, which I thought it was, it kind of, I don't know, lowers it for me. So I personally didn't really like this book. If you don't know what this book is about, let's read the blurb to you. When he hears her favorite Beatles song, Toru Watanabe recalls his first love, Naoko, the girlfriend of his best friend Kazuki. Immediately, he is transported back almost 20 years to his student days in Tokyo, adrift in a world of uneasy friendships, casual sex, passion, loss, and desire. To a time when an impetuous young woman called Midori marched into his life, and he had to choose between the future and the past. Yeah, I gave it 2 out of 5 stars, and I feel bad about that, but I don't know, I just didn't like it that much. So I'm going to go into the spoilery section of this video, so if you have not read this book, feel free to read it, come back, and we can talk. So here we go, in 3, 2, 1. So, there was a lot of glorification of suicide in this book. Let's start off with that. We have his best friend at the beginning of this book, Kazuki, take his own life. We have Naoko, who took her own life. We have Hatsumi, who took her own life. So my issue with this book is there are a lot of problems that were on the surface. And every time these problems were noticed and tried to be dealt with, the answer was to escape by ending your own life, to commit suicide. And I personally think that for Murakami to have made this the highlight of this book was super, super wrong. And I have a big issue with it because when people read this kind of book, they will look at suicide and think that is an option. And I think it's really sad if it is considered as an option. We need to go through negative experiences in order to grow, in order to overcome them, to acknowledge that there is so much more out there for us. It may not feel like it in those moments, but there is so much more out there waiting for us to grasp it. And I just think that every time a problem surfaced in this book, for the answer to have been, oh, they killed themselves, and for it not even to be a moment of shock, just a moment of, hey, this happens all the time, was really sad. I think if Murakami was able to develop these characters a bit more, give them a bit more grit. I found that whilst I was reading this book, it was very stagnant, all on the same line. It never really went up and down and up and down. It was all just, all the characters felt like they were the same person. I don't know, like there was just no growth. I guess like Midori had a lot of growth and Reiko had a lot of growth. There could have been so much more added to their growth, I thought anyway. Also, with Reiko's whole story of how she was with her husband at the time. She was teaching a young girl who was about half her age how to play piano. How this girl was able to sexually assault her was really fucked up. things just didn't feel right in this book, like where things were put, where the plot was trying to be driven. It just didn't work for me. I don't know, I just can't see why this book is so popular and why this book is so loved, because I personally think that it's so wrong in so many ways. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm disappointed with this book. I was very disappointed. And I also just want to say, I think it's important to make these book reviews that highlight when someone has a negative opinion on a book, because a lot of the time we watch a video book review and it's like why we loved this book, you know, and that's so good. I love doing those videos, but I also think it's important to be like, hey, I didn't like this book and I want to share with you why. Do you agree with me? Because I'd love to know what you think of this book. Like seriously, I'd love to know. I want to go into the mind of why people do love this book and try to understand that perspective. But anyway, I think that's really all I had to say about this book. But I'm excited to pick up another one. This isn't the end of my Murakami exploration. But please, if you've read anything else by him, please let me know what I should read next. Alright, so I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys in my next video. As usual, bye!